Hello again, everybody, and welcome to part 2 of our 66 Batmobile build-up here on the Scale Model Action Show. I'm your host again, Boyd Crompton, with you. And you can see we've been working on our model here a little bit. And one of the things I wanted to show you before we get going over to the spray booth and start painting this little guy is a little tip for you modelers out there. You can see on this particular body that we have a lot of really interesting shapes and curves and gaps and things that are going to be really hard to sand with a regular piece of sandpaper. As you can see here, you're not going to be able to get into any of these little recessed areas and things like that to sand this out really smooth. So what I did is I used some, this is some steel wool. Now you can get this steel wool in different grades. This is what they call 00, which is the finest grade of steel wool that you can get. And steel wool works really good for doing sanding like this. Now I basically sanded down the entire body with this first, and then I applied some adhesion promoter, which you guys have seen me use in the past. Adhesion promoter is a great tool for making your paint stick to your plastic surface. This is what it looks like right here. This particular brand is DuPont, but there are several other brands out there from Plastic Code and a few others. It's a really good tool to use to make sure that your paint sticks on your plastic really well, and you won't have any peeling or lifting issues later on when you're doing masking and things like that. And then after that, we sprayed this down with some regular primer, and then I've gone and sanded it again with my steel wool, and you can see we've got a beautiful, nice, smooth surface on this. There are some really fine sanding scratches in this, but they're fine enough where when we paint this, that those will all disappear. And if there are any minor ones left on it after that, our clear coat's going to hide those when we put our final clear coat finish on this. So I thought I'd show you that little step here. I've worked on a few little areas on the body here. I've glued the top deck down on here. I've applied a little bit of filler on these little seams on the edges of each side and sanded those smooth. I've worked on the hood just a little bit, sanding down the edges here to get the real nice flat surface fit of the hood onto the body with no gaps or anything like that. And we want that to sit down there really nice because we're going to be putting our little lights here in the front. We don't want light leaks coming out around the edges of the hood. And as I mentioned in the first part of the video here in our build plan, I'm going to be mounting the 9-volt battery here in the engine compartment. So we're not going to have any engine in this, but that's okay. Like I mentioned earlier, we don't have the actual turbine engine with this kit anyway, and I don't believe in the TV show you ever saw them lift the hood at any point, so we'll hide our 9-volt battery in there, and that way we can have this completely self-powered. And I'm going to be going with a rechargeable 9-volt battery that every time it runs down I can just recharge it and put it back in the model. So that's where we are so far, guys. I'm going to get the camera repositioned here over at the spray booth area. We're going to mix up some paint, and we're going to go ahead and spray the body here today for you. So I'll be right back with that in just a couple seconds, guys. Stay tuned. Okay, everybody, so here we are over on the painting area now, and we're ready to spray our Batmobile body black. I've mixed up some paint, and I've got my airbrush ready to go here. And what I've done first is I found something to mount the body on that's nice and solid so it won't fall off or anything, and I can move it around and spray and make sure I get all the areas covered really well. And the same thing here with the hood and the deck lid. I've got this set up where it's taped on these little cans here so I can keep them elevated. You want to try to keep everything away from your flat area here where there might be some dust or things like that. I've made sure and dusted these down really good. There's no particles on them, and we're ready to go here, guys. So let's start airbrushing away. I've tested out my mix here, and we're ready to go. So I'm going to turn my ventilation on. It might be a little bit noisy for you, but we got to keep that fume level down here. So here we go, guys. looking really good, guys. Going to be nice and smooth on there, especially when we put our clear coat on this. Very nice. Okay, let's check our paint supply real quick here. I have to add a little bit of paint, and we'll do our deck lid and our hood here. I'm going to use my shop air here and make sure that there's no dust on these one more time and clear them off. Okay, I think we're good there. Let's go with the hood here first. Turned out really well. There's our deck lid. It's really good, guys. This is going to turn out smooth as glass. Alright guys, well that's getting the body sprayed down here. I'll turn my ventilation off now. And we're going to let this dry for about a good 30 or 40 minutes here, and then we're going to come back and hit it with one more coat. And then we're going to come back and put our decals on this. And what we'll be doing is using some of the decal bonder on that, which will seal everything down. Some Testor's decal bonder in a can. We'll get all the decals put on it, get those sealed, and then we'll be doing our base cover up with our top coat, which will be some automotive clear, which will put a really beautiful gloss on this and seal all of our decals in. So we'll be back with that in just a few seconds and show you the progress, guys. Alright then everybody, well here we are back, and you can see I've been working on our Batmobile body here for a little while. I've placed the decals on the model, and I've just finished spraying those all down here a little while ago with some of this Testor's decal bonder. So our decals are all down there nice and smooth and laying down and sealed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to finish off by spraying the final top coat of our clear coat here, which is some regular automotive clear coat, some Nason DuPont, which is some really high quality clear coat here. I've got this in my little spray gun and I'm ready to go. So here we go, guys. I'm going to turn the ventilation on real quick, and we'll put a nice clear coat on this. That's that. Okay guys, she's looking beautiful here. Just look at it in the light here a little bit and make sure we didn't leave any dry spots. I'm just going to kind of pick up the camera here for you and show you this in just a second. You'll be able to see the nice gloss we have on this. Here guys, hopefully you can see that. It's going to be beautiful. Okay guys, well I'll come back here in a little bit and we're going to show you the body after it's all dried off real nice, and We'll be going for a little bit of wet sanding on it, possibly, if we have any dirt in it or anything like that, but we'll take a look at it here in a little while and see how it looks when it's dry, guys. Be back with that in just a few seconds. Hi there again, everybody. We're back over on the bench now with the model. It's been drying for about an hour or so, and you can see we got a beautiful paint job on this model, guys. I'll kind of pick it up and show it to you here. You can see how beautiful this black paint job looks on this. It's just like glass. And turn it around and show you the other side here. And you can see it's just phenomenal. It's really pleased with it. All the decals and everything laid down really nice after we used our decal bonder. And we've got a really beautiful smooth finish on this. And it's hard to do black. But take your time a little bit and use some nice materials. You can get a beautiful paint job. There won't be any need to buff this out or anything, guys. It's just beautiful. And I'll show you what I used here again, guys. This is some automotive-based clear coat. It's made by Nason, which is a division of DuPont. And this is their 49600 clear coat. And you have your activator here on the left that goes with it. You buy this as a kit. Now, this is a little bit expensive. It's about $150 for this whole thing. But this is a gallon, guys, and you'll be able to use... You'll probably be able to paint dozens and dozens and dozens of models with this, and last you a long time. The shelf life on it's really good, since it won't get hard unless you use the activator with it. So I just thought I'd show you something a little bit different here. We promised you on this channel you'd see some new and interesting techniques, and this is one of the things I wanted to show you. It's one of my little secrets I've been using for a while, and you can see it yields really, really good results, guys. This model looks fantastic. And there won't be any need to be buffing on it or polishing or anything like that. And that clear is very durable. It's the same clear that's used on real automobiles. And it's very high quality stuff. So if you want to get a beautiful paint job on your models, guys, it's an option that you can look at. Okay, guys, well, that's going to be a wrap for this video. I hope you enjoyed it so far. The Batmobile's coming along just fine. You can see we've got our stack of parts over here. We'll be coming back in the next video with the actual beginning of the assembly of the model. And we'll start to get into some of the details that I'll go into about wiring up the board and getting the lighting all installed in this. So I'm having a blast with it so far, everybody. So like we always like to say, we'll see you a little bit later. Until we do, everyone, take care and happy modeling.